to disturb you, is going to frame you into negative aspect, negative energy. What share that emotions with someone and release that emotion so that your glass gets empty, your glass becomes empty, and you can fill it with positive emotions. Because you see, nowadays what happens is that our glass is full of negative energy. And now, when once it is full of negative energy, if the motherboard or the drive, any drive of yours in your computer is full, how you are going to save rest of the files? Similarly, our drive is also full of negative emotions. Until and unless we format that drive, it is very difficult for us to sustain, or for us to get into, or to save positive strength, wisdom, energy, emotions. So what I would like to extend to you is that emotional alchemy is a challenging emotion. It is a challenge to convert your emotions, your into wisdom, into strength, into positive energies. Now friends, this there are so many different kinds or concepts of this transformation of emotional energy or emotional alchemy into wisdom, strength, and positive energy. The very first concept is called Stoic philosophy. We would talk about three, four sciences of Stoic philosophy, Buddhist mindfulness, modern psychology, and neuroscience research on emotional regulation. Now, when we say Stoic philosophy, you can see on this slide the Stoic philosophy. Actually, this philosophy originated in ancient Greece in 300 BC. And there, the main focus of this philosophy is to focus on how individuals can live a good and healthy, happy, fulfilling life. You see, I have given this Stoic philosophy and I have given few visuals also, that it was possible, how it was possible, that how this Stoicism, the Stoics, they used to sit in between the water, on land, in fire, everywhere. They were trying to focus, they were trying to, concentrate, they were trying to work upon how individuals can live a good and healthy, fulfilling life. These were the Stoicism. It was a school of Hellenistic philosophy, actually. Then we talk about Buddhist mindfulness. Buddhist mindfulness actually was rooted in Pali, okay, and the practice is a practice of maintaining very clear and non-judgmental awareness of the present emotion. And Buddhists always practiced, or you can say they aimed to cultivate insight, wisdom, and finally the liberation from suffering. This philosophy finally talked about the liberation from sufferings. Then the modern psychology, how you manifest and how things get, explored, how the behavior get changed, and how the mental process starts working in a very scientific methods. I will share one very small, recent experience of mine. In my house, I'm very scared of lizard. Okay, and I was trying to lock my door, and first I locked the mesh door, and then some kind of and feel, or came to my mind that maybe possible that in the morning lizard might be there on the door, because dust closure is not there. And my dear friends, it is my personal experience. Next morning, when I woke up, I went to the main door. I opened my mesh door and I saw a very big lizard on the next door, the main door. I was so surprised because I am the very blessed soul, I believe, because whatever I have conceived in my thoughts, till it comes in the entire uniform form, it gets fulfilled. Before it takes its final shape, my dear friends, it gets fulfilled. So I believe that I am the blessed soul. Almighty has given me extra blessings because whatever I wish, before it gets into form, because before it forms the shape, it gets fulfilled. So I am really blessed. So your manifestation, your power to manifest is very important. I manifested a lizard and I saw it next morning. Once upon a time, I went with my mother in law for shopping. And as she purchased four, dress for me and my sister in laws. I saw one sari over there. I'm very fond of, wearing sari. I saw one sari there and I loved it. It was so attractive. But I did not say anything out of hesitation that, well, you know, I didn't say anything. I came back and I shared it with my husband. I said, I saw a beautiful sari, but I couldn't say to mom that I want that. He said, let's go and we'll get it immediately. I said, no, 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 I won't be able to go. I'm tired now and leave it anyway. Things were like, okay, fine. But I manifested for that sari. Manifest in the form that, oh, it's really beautiful. I should have it, but I can't. I didn't say it to my mom. After few days, there is a very important festival in India, Tej. I hope everybody must have heard about this festival, Tej. Yes? Now, so after few days, my mother, she sent gift for Tej, and the moment I opened the bag, you will not believe the same sari was there in that bag which I saw there in the shop. My mother was not aware that I liked that, but my manifestation was very strong. I got that. And it's really amazing, amazing, I'm telling you. I love my husband because I had love marriage. And I said, God, only give this person to me in my life. I will never ask for anything. I had my same person whom I admired as my better half. I said, God, I want only daughter. I don't want any son. I have two beautiful, lovely daughters. I said, I have dark complexion. I want my daughters to be fair. My both the daughters are so much fair, just opposite of mine. Because somewhere or the other, I had that, uh, you can say like that daughters should be pretty, should be beautiful because, fair color is more admired. But my husband, he loved me in the same complexion. And he fought everybody that no, she will be my better half. I'm going to marry this girl. I manifested and I got it. And I'm living a very blessed life. I was not that educated when I got married. I was simply postgraduate. My husband said that you are so good in studies. You don't drop your studies. After my marriage, after 3 years, he got me admitted for PhD. I completed my PhD, then more education, and then finally I got, because of him, I got selected in a very good interview in a university. And for past 20 years, I'm working as a professor there. It is all because of my husband. So manifestation is not an ordinary energy. The power of manifestation is beyond everything. Whatever you manifest, the intensity of your manifestation, it's all very scientific. In modern psychology, you can call it a very scientific, thank you. Thank you. I can see some comments. Thank you so much for boosting my energy, because somewhere or the other, this complex of the complexion is very terrible. uh, I can see so many of you, so beautiful. I wonder, my God, God can create such beautiful creatures also. मेरे में थोड़ी कमी क्यों कर दी? Anyway, so modern psychology has different, multifaceted fields that can explore, human and animal behavior and the mental process through different scientific methods. You can see here in the slide that how your manifestation work, how the mental energy works, and how in different scientific methods. You might have seen that so many cartoons, it is said that look at the cartoon, invert it, and you will see a different face. So all this is a scientific method of psychological change. Okay. Now, the neuroscience research on emotional regulation, you can see that how neuronic changes are being made. At one time, you play so many different roles. At a time, you become a mother, the same face, you play so many different roles in same character. So many different roles. You play a role of father, you play a role of son, you play a role of friend, you play a role of husband, you play a role of brother. Similarly, you play a role of women's, they play a role of wife, daughter, daughter-in-law, mother, teacher, friend, sister, and so many. These are different emotional regulations in different phases. Now you see emotions. Emotions are neither good nor bad. Emotions are information. Emotions are information. Emotions are energy. Every emotion contains seeds of wisdom and potential for growth. As I told you, that every emotion contains seeds of wisdom. If it is positive emotion, it has a very strong potential to grow. But even if it has negative emotion, that also has a very strong potential to grow. As I told you just now, that if you talk about some negative characteristics of a person, if you talk about a negative characteristics of a person, you will find that so many different negative, aspects of that person is revealed immediately. And if you talk about that person, okay, ये बंदा तो बहुत अच्छा है, this person has done such a wise thing, wise job, good job. Immediately you will remember that so many positive points get attracted towards that. And it makes it, it makes sure, it reveals your wisdom part. So this is very important because every emotions contains seeds of wisdom and potential for growth. Resistance to emotion often amplifies suffering. You should not resist. If you feel like, okay, I should do this thing for this person, you go ahead with that. Because the first emotion is the last one. First impression is the last one, as we say. It is not first impression, it is first emotion. If you get impressed by any person in the first talk, it will be very difficult for anybody to change that impression. And Your acceptance is going to sublimate you, is going to transform you from yourself. If you have a very good thought, if you have grand thoughts, grand emotions, you will get transformed from yourself. Transformation is going to take place. The goal is to eliminate negative emotions. The goal of emotion is not to eliminate negative emotions, but to work with them skillfully. As I told you just now, that if any negative emotions persist in the heart of heart, maybe some or the other incident of past life is in your heart, and suddenly you come across such an incident where immediately you remember the incident which has happened in the past life. Immediately you will recall everything. And then suddenly what will happen? You will get overburdened by that emotion. It is going to be converted into negative emotions. So what you have to do is, once you come across such kind of experience, share that experience with someone. Share it with someone and you will be relaxed. You will feel that, okay, now that energy is eliminated. That energy is eliminated. So you have to eliminate negative emotions by working skillfully with them. You simply don't have to eliminate that. Okay, fine, I forget it and it is eliminated. No, it never gets eliminated. It gets stuck into heart of heart. And some way or the other, when you come across any such incident of such kind, you always remember that emotion. So it is very important to eliminate in a very skillful manner. Then only that glass is going to be empty. Otherwise, the glass will be filled. Emotions, as I told you, they are neither good, they are not bad. They are information and energy. As you can see in this visual, through so many different, visual, you can see that how this girl is laughing, this girl is quiet, this keeping her mouth shut, and this, tipping her nails, shouting, and all these different emotions at the same time. This is single girl, and these are different emotions. So they are all energy in motions. You can see the visual. Now, every negative emotions, they contain seeds of wisdom and potential also to grow. As I told you, anger, when you see, there are basically 8 emotions. Anger is there, anticipation is there, joy is there, trust, fear, surprise, sadness, and disgust. These 8 emotions are the basic emotions. And from these emotions, all rest of the emotions, they come out. When we talk about emotions in a very broad manner, they are considered either you have positive emotions or you have negative emotions. When you have negative emotions, then you have different emotions which carry negative energy. For example, you start regretting for something, you start hating someone, you start you become fearful, you start getting feared, you become angry, you feel shame, you come under some guilt, or you get into sadness. So all these regret, hate, fear, anger, shame, guilt, and sadness, these are negative emotions. They carry negative energy with you. And you have to work upon this negative emotions to convert them into positive. When we talk about positive emotions, it is when you start loving someone, you are in positive emotion. When you start feeling pleasure, when you start getting joy, you are in positive form. When you feel pride, you are in positive form. When you have empathy for certain people, you are in positive emotion. When you are always hopeful, you are in positive emotion. When you are happy, you are in positive emotions. So this emotion in center has so many different kind of emotions, you see, converted into positive and negative. This circle is very important. Emotions getting into negative emotions and then get into positive emotions. These emojis I have just shared, the positive emotions, they bring desire, gratitude, euphoric, joy, euphoria, happiness, empathy, hope, pride. These are positive emotions. How you are so happy. Now, negative emotions. Negative emotions, they come out from anywhere. You get frustrated, sadness, shame, fear, grief, guilt, depression, despair, sadness, envy, doubt, jealousy. All these are negative emotions which actually disturb your higher personality. Now, resistance to emotion often, amplifies suffering, while acceptance to emotions enables transformation. When you accept, you can transform. When you resist, you cannot transform. You get into suffering. So it is good to accept and resolve instead of resisting and suffer. Resilience is, like you see, emotional awareness, how you control yourself, how you have self belief, how your sense of humor works, how you get social support, how what is the ability to live your problem, and how your resilience grow into optimism. And resilience also has different, high it can which can, enable transformation into, mindfulness, then emotional regulation, positive coping strategies. All these are result of acceptance, result of resilience. Then, how to manage anger? The goal isn't to eliminate negative emotions, but to work with them skillfully. Now, if you are angry or if you are into negative emotion, how you can manage your anger? What you have to do is you have to identify the emotions, identify and warning signs. How you have to work, talk to somebody after that. If you are in negative emotion, talk it out. When it comes to our mind, talk it out to someone, to the person whom you believe that it won't go out anywhere else. Try, and if you don't get anyone, try breathing. Try to relax yourself. I'll tell you one very small story. You see, once upon a time, I was very upset for some reason in my from my workplace. And I felt like I'm going to resign now. I can't work like this anymore because I cannot praise anyone. I can work but can't praise. Shweta ma'am must have told you that I'm a very different kind of person. Friends, I was very disturbed in the university for some reason. I went to a park which is very nearby to my university. How you have to release when you get signs of negative emotion? I went to a park which is very near to my university, and I sat there on a bench and I was upset. I started looking to the beauty of nature because you see, a time comes when you are upset. After some time, you count 1 to 10 and you will feel a slight stress free kind of a feeling. I started observing the elements of nature. I saw few children, they were playing football. Then I saw the birds chirping on the trees. It was around 4:35 around, and birds. So many birds were chirping as if they were having a very strong, important meeting. Like they have worked the whole day, and now in the evening they are sharing their experience. I saw the leaves rustling. I saw people walking, talking on the mobile, and going for a walk, and all these different elements I saw in the nature. And I won't believe it is my personal experience. After only 5 to 10 minutes, I forgot all the stress I was just 10 minutes back. Can you believe this? This is my personal experience. I forgot everything. And then I said, okay, God, let them do what they are doing. Their duties, their functioning will go with them, and my functioning will come with me. Because I'm not working for today, I'm working for tomorrow, the one which is going to come. I'm working for my future. I'm not working for today only. Walk. If you are not becoming relaxed, then start walking. Try to step away from the situation and start rethinking that why did this happen? Where the lacuna was. Definitely, because whatever negative emotion you get engrossed, it is really the mistake or flaw of yours. Aristotle, a very famous critic, he said that a tragic hero, a person who meets the tragedy, who is in negative emotion, a tragic hero is a person who faces the tragedy by his own flaw. In one of our epics, Mahabharat, you must have heard the name. In Mahabharat, I can see some messages. I will answer it after I finish. Okay. So, the best way to release is to step away from the situation. Start reframing that why this situation occurred before you. This definitely will must be because of some of the lacuna on your behalf. It is not possible that any negative emotion steps in without our lacunas. There must be some shortcomings in our behavior, in our exercise. That's why we have to face, and this is how we have to manage our anger, manage the negative situations, manage the negative emotions. Now, you see, the key principles of this handling of negative emotions is non-resistance, conscious observation, intentional response, and integration. Your mind judges every experience. Life experience, when mind goes, talks about life experience comes into the mind, and mind decides whether that experience is good, bad, or neutral. That experience, if it is good, definitely it must be bad for some or the other. If it is bad for you, it must be good for some or the other. So this is how you judge your experience. The emotions means allowing yourself to feel whatever emotions arise without judging them whether they are good or bad. Okay. Like if you get injection, if you take, what do you feel? Immediate emotion arises that, okay, it is so bad, but actually it is good for you. Because if you get injected by, injection is there for some medical reason, definitely it's only medical reason when you get injected. That is very hard, but it is for your good. So, immediate emotion should not judge whether the emotion is good or bad, because your observation is very important. Wait and watch, observe. Don't suppress that feeling. If somebody slaps you, definitely the feeling is that you will be getting hurt. Don't judge that slapping is good or bad. Take it as it is. Acknowledge the emotion as it comes without addressing it whether it is good or bad. Observe that the initial stage will be a bad experience, but later stage is going to give you good results. Accepting the emotion in a natural part of your experience. Don't get carried away with the immediate situation. Wait and watch, because sometimes it is better to keep silent than to tell others what you feel. It is better to keep silent than to tell others what you feel, because it hurts badly when you come to know that they can hear you but they cannot understand you. When you come to know that they can hear you but they cannot understand you, then that hurts you more. It is said that, you see, Jiddu Krishnamurti, a very famous philosopher, he says that ability to observe without evaluating is the highest form of intelligence. When you have the ability to observe without evaluating, it is the highest form of intelligence. And my dear friends, I believe that if you have if you are in a capacity to order, if you have right to order someone, if there are people who can take your orders, if you have right to give orders and people are there to take your orders, then and there you lose the right to be ignorant. You cannot say that I did not know. अगर आपके पास आदेश देने का अधिकार है तो उसी वक्त आपको अनजान रहने का अधिकार खो जाता है. अगर आप आदेश देने की स्थिति में हैं तो अनजान रहने की स्थिति आप खो देते हैं. You lose the freedom to be ignorant once you have the power to order. Now you see, as I told you, some of my friends have asked that how we can respond to the emotional crisis. My dear friends, take action when you get into negative emotion. Take action. Don't leave issues unattended. Talk to someone to ease that burden. Seek help from your friends, family members, or go to a psychologist. Spend more time with people that boost your emotional energy. Practice mindfulness. Learn to first acknowledge your worries, emotions, and then let them go. Know what drives your guilt and establish rituals to help you manage the triggers. For example, if you come across some of the emotions which you feel that this is very shocking, very surprising for you, the very first thing what you do is, okay, this is a shocking news for me. When you, how you emotionally respond to the situations that I'm sharing with you, that you see sometimes you come across such an incident which is very shocking for you for some time. Okay, you get surprised, you get shocked due to that event. Then gradually what happened, you come out from that shock in the level of denial. Okay, I cannot believe this and I cannot do this, I disapprove this. So from shock, you go to denial. Then from denial, you come to frustration, you come to anger. Knowing things are changing, you become angry. Now, see, this is the third stage.St, you are in shock, surprise, then gradually you grow into denial. Okay, I'm not doing this. I don't, I'm not going to approve this. You disapprove that. Again, gradually, know that change those things and you get frustrated. Then further you become depressed. You get into depression. You feel sad. You feel low. After some time, you start thinking. You become in an experimental mode, thinking about how to adjust this new situation. This is a human, emotional response, very normal, common response. You start thinking, up to ho hi gaya, now it is being done. Now, how can we adjust with this new situation? Then you come to the decision, slowly adapting to the new changes. This decision making takes you to positive outlook. And then you start integrating. You start completely adjusting to the changes and feeling renewed. जैसे नई ब्राइड आते ग्रूम आती है, ब्राइड ग्रूम जब शादी होती है, you go to a new family and you see certain things and you start saying, oh my god, I cannot adjust with this. मेरे पापा के यहाँ तो ऐसा था, my father has this, my father had that. Oh, I'm not going to adjust this at all. Oh my god, what I have done, such a big mess decision I have taken in my life. Oh, I'm getting depressed. Well, after some time, now this is life, we have to adjust. Okay, then how should I change this? Okay, fine, now I'm comfortable with this. So you see, your journey from shock, denial, frustration, depression, experiment, decision comes and ends in integration. Am I clear to everyone? Just one voice.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you so much. I'll proceed. Now, transformation of the process. How you recognize and how you are aware. Emotional literacy. Learning accurately and identifying and naming the emotions. Recognizing the physical sensations when you get disturbed, how you have different physical sensations. You get angry, you get distracted, you throw, you burst into tears, and there's so many different kind of awarenesses there. Then you understand the situations, your thoughts provoke specific emotional responses, and then finally you recur the emotional themes and cycles. So this is how emotions work. Acceptance and allowing emotions work like this. Non-judgmental emotions you can see, but you cannot do anything. You can observe, but you cannot label them. You can observe nature, but you cannot label whether it is right or wrong. Movement of the clouds, you can observe, but you cannot label whether movement of the clouds is right or wrong. Then what you have to do, you have to start breathing practice. Create space between you and the emotions through breathing. Deep breathing is going to create space between you and your emotions. Then you have to be mindfully witnessing, watching emotions arise, peak, and naturally subside. Start walking to your, looking at your nose, holding your brain, and start thinking naturally. The emotions will subside. Start loving yourself. The best part is treat yourself, pamper yourself, love yourself in all difficult states. That is the most powerful self compassion. When you investigate, you understand. Curiosity, asking what is emotion trying to tell me. Start understanding that investigation within yourself. Explore the needs, the values of triggering the emotion. Identify the wisdom and start guiding that emotional experience. And view emotions as teachers rather than enemies. मेरे अंदर ये भावना है, this emotion, treat that emotion as mother, as teacher, not as enemies. That is the best learning orientation for that. Then consciously decide how to channelize emotional energy constructively. Use specific techniques. Honor your emotions. Honor your emotions and message your values. Incorporate your insights into future decision makings and response. Your wisdom integration is going to help you in decision making and response. Thank you so much. I'm done. Now I would love to have discussion and questions from you. This is all I want to talk about emotional alchemy and how you can turn your wounds into wisdom. In chat box, I can see.
Hi, can you hear me?
Well, hi,
Hi, I'm Zohar. So I
hi.
wanted to ask that I don't know if it is relevant or not, but somehow it is that how can we stop overthinking? Because this is something that really messes up our emotions and everything in our life. So can we really channelize our energy in a way that is good for us, but it is not like we are not thinking negatively because most of the time we are overthinking, which really affects us. So how can we fix that?
Well, very good question, my dear friend. Like Sadia, Zoa, what did you say? I failed to.
Zohar,
Zoa.
Zohar.
Zoa, the emotion which you are sharing, my dear, is a very common, issue amongst everyone. Okay. When I came in this science, it was with me even. Now, how I worked out, I will share my experience. Maybe it benefits you. I, as a professor, have so much, responsibilities. I keep overthinking. I was, in a way, I can tell you, like, I was always stressed. And you believe me, When I came into this science of emotions, I found that I have stopped loving myself. I have stopped loving myself. You get engrossed in overthinking only when you love others, when you stop loving yourself. For example, you get ready, you wear nice dresses, you put so much of everything to look pretty, to look beautiful. But my dear, just make one question to yourself: for whom you are doing this? For people to say that, okay, Zoya, you are looking so beautiful? Or Zoya want to satisfy her own self, oh, I am so beautiful? Two people in this entire universe should matter for you. Whose comment for you that you are beautiful or ugly makes any sense? One, your parents. For any parent, the child is the most beautiful creature in this universe, irrespective of, you can say demons. Demons also love their children for like anything. For them, their children are the most beautiful creature on this universe. Am I right? Now, person whose yes or no love and envy matters is our parents, our mother and father. For them, the child is the most beautiful creature on this universe. Now, the person who is most important for us, for them, we are the most beautiful creature. How does it matter if other people like or dislike or pass comments for us, who can do nothing good or bad for us? The day you start loving yourself, like I find myself, although in the eyes of the society, I am ugly because I have a dark complexion. But for my parents, I was the most beautiful creature on this universe. And I personally feel that I love myself and I am the most beautiful soul, most beautiful creature on this universe. Am I able to, answer your question, Zoya?
Yes, you are. And I want to share one thing that it was an advice to me that even if you are positive or negative, that doesn't matter. But the energy that you have will only increase when you like when you share it. Because see, it is a law of universe that the energy we omit, that is something we attract the most. So like if we are showing gratitude, we will see more in our life. But if we are not showing that, then we will see less.
True,
So
true.
that is the law that we need to realize and we need to follow.
Learn. You need to realize. And one more thing, if you don't want to share it with anyone, take help of your pen and write it in a diary. If you don't want to share that energy with anyone, you write it somewhere, because you have to channelize that emotion. That emotion needs to be channelized. So write that emotion somewhere. And my dear friend, you believe me, read that emotion just after a week. You will yourself be surprised. Okay, you were in that form some days back. You will be surprised. And all this I have experienced.
You are absolutely correct. So thank you so much for your advice, and I will definitely do that because this is really important that we really feel ourselves. Only then we can
Yes.
feel others.
Just from today onwards, make one promise to yourself every day in the morning when you wake up. Stand before the mirror for 2 seconds and admire yourself माशा अल्लाह, कितना खूबसूरत मुझे बनाया है ईश्वर आपने. You love yourself. Pamper yourself. Thank you, God, for this beautiful hand. Thank you, God, for this beautiful skin. Thank you, God, for everything. And your perception will change. You won't say half glass empty, you'll say half glass full. Because you see, everybody is aware of the Titanic accident, isn't it, Sanam?
Yes.
Titanic, everybody is aware. I will take that example of
Yes.
Titanic. When Titanic collided and so many people died in that accident, Titanic did not collide with the iceberg which was visible. It collided with the iceberg which was not visible. Moral of the accident is that the danger, the energy which is not visible is more dangerous than the one which is visible. I tell my students, don't read all the text, or don't read any text of such kind which is not important for you, because all these texts, or watch so many reels, we keep scrolling reels, they have impact on our brain, they have lasting impact on the brain. So just for the sake of reading, for the sake of watching, don't do that. Don't hurt your brain, don't hurt your heart, don't hurt your mind. Pamper them. अच्छी अच्छी सुंदर चीजें दिखाओ. Give them a beautiful visuals. They will give you beautiful life. जितना सुंदर अच्छा स्वादिष्ट खाना आप अपने शरीर को खिलाओगे, उतना ही सुंदर स्वास्थ्य वो आपको देगा. The more delicious tasty food you feed yourself, the more healthy health it is going to provide us. I hope I have been able to communicate the emotional alchemy to all my dear friends.
Ma'am, there are a few questions in the chat box. Would you like me to read them for you?
I'll just look into the chat box.
Okay.
I'm not very friendly with, yes, I will read. I will read one by one. Okay. Well, this is a question. There are certain things in life that we want to manifest, right? But at the same time, we also know that we can't change what's written in our destiny. How do we differentiate? How do we think clearly about what can be manifested and what can't? Very good question. There is nothing as destiny. Destiny is nothing like that. Who says destiny is decided? Destiny is decided, that is another concept. Manifestation is another concept. Destiny is another concept. Destiny is when you stop functioning. It is not like कि ट्रेन के नीचे लेट जाओ, go and fall before the train and say destiny है, बचना होगा तो बचेंगे, नहीं चले जाएंगे, राशन कार्ड से नाम कट जाएगा. It is not like that. You make your destiny by your manifestations. We have no educational background. I could never think and dream that I can be a professor in a university. I would be. But I manifested. My husband, my better half, manifested. We worked hard and now we are there. And there are so many different incidents of such kind. As I shared with you the incident of that my mother-in-law's incident, can I say that it was in my destiny to get that dress? It is not only destiny, it is your manifestation also. I hope I could answer. The second question, I have to pass professor exam and it's 100% truth that I'm not enough to pass my MBBS exams and I start failing. No, this is very wrong. You manifest yourself in the dress, in the apparel of a doctor. Manifest it. जब आप मैनिफेस्ट करेंगे तो पूरा जहां आपको लग जाएगा, पूरी कायनात लग जाएगी उसको पूरा करने में. मैनिफेस्ट तो करके देखो. डोंट बुली योरसेल्फ, डोंट डू दैट. Promise yourself. Next question, there are certain things in life that we want to manifest, but at the same time, we also know, acha, this is destiny. I have negative emotions for myself. Okay. Emotional alchemy is helpful for students dealing with pressure and competition. Yes, it is very helpful. It increases your, you see, when you work on emotions, you empty your glass, which is full of negative emotions. And once the glass gets empty, you convert that emotion, that compassion into positive form. And you gradually develop that, and you come out of the pressure of competition and you start enjoying that. I have questions. What are the signs that a person is successfully practicing emotional alchemy? The signs that a person is successfully practicing emotional alchemy is you grow very positive. You are very confident for your emotions. You grow very confident for your emotions. When somebody misbehaves with you, you are very cool and observing that, okay, this person is emotionally weak. A person who is emotionally weak shouts at you, but you have to be very calm and you have to feel sorry for that person. Okay, he is not aware of this signs of emotions. It is poor person. Sometime when he cools down, I will share that emotions alchemy with him and he is going to change. Next question I have, can emotional alchemy contribute to leadership create? Actually it can. It has. It did create leadership and spiritual growth. It did. I have a question. I'm preparing for GAT exam but failed so many times and I am upset about it. There must be some lacuna, there must be something lagging, the part which you fail to see for GAT examination. See, the shortcoming is on your behalf. Look into it. What is lacking in your preparation? And if your preparation is 100%, why you are in this capacity that you say that you are upset and you have failed? That is lagging in your preparation. Check that lag and then see you are definitely going to pass. I hope I have been able to answer most of the questions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a powerful and insightful session on emotional alchemy. Your words have truly inspired us to understand and transform our emotions into strength, and we are deeply grateful for the wisdom you have shared today. And thank you so much, everyone who joined. Your presence made this session truly special. We encourage you to reflect on what you have learned today and put it into practice in your daily lives. Together, we can continue to grow stronger and empower other along the way. On behalf of Yes You Can, thank you once again for being with us. We look forward to see you in the next She Nurture session. Until then, take care and keep nurturing yourself and those around you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It was a pleasure being with you all. Thank you so much.